Welcome to the Career Preparation course. You're so close to being ready to apply for cloud security jobs. In this course, you'll put everything you've learned together to prepare for success in your job search. First, you'll learn ways to update your resume and portfolio to showcase the cloud security principles you've learned from prior courses. Next, we'll explore the interview process, including how to prepare for some common interview questions. Then, you'll apply your new skills and knowledge to create a capstone project that brings together all of your skills and knowledge from this course. Let me introduce myself. My name's Louis. I work as a cloud security architect at Google. This means that I blend security expertise, sales knowledge, and consultative skills to help companies establish and demonstrate cloud security. In my job, I help when a customer has a security objective to fulfill, but doesn't exactly know how to do so in the cloud. For example, they need to log activities and configure alerts so they're notified of suspicious actions. In this case, I guide them step by step to ensure they're logging the correct activities, configuring their alerts correctly, and ensuring that Google Cloud Security recommendations are applied. You're almost ready to showcase your new skills and begin applying for cloud security jobs. To get you started, we'll explore the cloud cybersecurity hiring process, including how to search for jobs. Then, we'll give you tips on how to update your resume and portfolio to reflect your skills and expertise so you can be successful in the interview preparation process. Next, you'll create a capstone project that brings together the main concepts you've learned. You can add your capstone project to your portfolio as well. Finally, you'll review what you've learned to complete the final tasks to earn your cloud cybersecurity badge. The job search skills you learn in this course will serve you throughout your career while you continue to gain new skills and take on more complex projects. You're so close to earning your certificate badge. Remember, you set the pace for this course. Feel free to rewatch videos and review new information as often as you need. Once you complete this course, you'll be ready to apply for a cloud security job. Let's get started. Hi, I'm Louis. I'm a security architect here at Google Cloud. A core part of my job is engaging both executive and technical stakeholders to help customers build the most secure deployments possible. This means I help customers protect their data and maintain adherence to regulatory and compliance obligations. I'm a New York native where I studied information science in college. Growing up, I was the most tech-savvy person I knew because I spent all of my time on the computer. But this also meant that when something broke, more accurately when I introduced malware, I had to figure out how to fix it. So it always felt natural to me to study technology, although I initially assumed that computer science was the only way to do so. After learning that I didn't enjoy programming as much, I decided to focus on information science since it had a mix of programming and other courses I found interesting, like data analysis, computer networking, and cybersecurity. I began my career in cybersecurity working on an internal audit team within a finance company. While I learned a tremendous amount about auditing, my biggest lesson was that a career in auditing was not for me. I made a slight pivot and worked in security for a cloud service provider where I was audited against common information security standards instead of being the auditor myself. I then discovered roles that would let me work with organizations to make the most of cloud technology and keep resources secure. I was drawn by the ability to be technical while also helping customers, and the title sounded pretty cool too. That's when I decided that I wanted to pursue a career as a solutions architect. After switching into this role and gaining experience as a solutions architect, I had an opportunity to work for Google in a similar role. Google was especially interested in my background in audit and compliance. I've been at Google and on the same team ever since. It's exciting thinking about all the career paths you can take, but how do you get to the one you want? Let's begin by outlining how you can prepare yourself for success when starting your career in cloud security. First, we'll start with an overview of the hiring process, including how to find and apply for jobs, what to expect from each interview stage, and how to highlight your skills, interests, and goals in a way that sets you apart from other candidates. Next, we'll discuss how to update your resume, or how to create one if you don't have one already. You'll also learn how to describe your skills and prior experience and tailor your resume to the job you want. Then, you'll incorporate the projects from this course into a professional portfolio that highlights your expertise, professionalism, and passion for the field. Finally, you'll learn how to prepare for an interview and plan your responses to some common interview questions. You'll also learn how to navigate interviews that include a project. You're one step closer to having a rewarding job search experience. Keep up the great work! The cloud security field is growing fast, and new job openings are added every day. The job search can be challenging, but the skills you've learned in this certificate, along with your prior experience, have prepared you for success. When exploring cloud security jobs, you should include titles like Cloud Cybersecurity Analyst, Cloud Cybersecurity Engineer, or Cybersecurity Specialist in your search. Many job descriptions require 1 to 3 years of experience, but don't let this stop you from applying for a job you want. An organization may be flexible on experience if the candidate is a good fit. To find entry-level jobs, you can include terms like entry-level, associate, or junior in your search. Before we explore the hiring process, let's review some of the common job duties for Cloud Cybersecurity Analysts. First, Cloud Cybersecurity Analysts are expected to plan, configure, document, and monitor cloud security solutions. Second, Cloud Security Analysts use dedicated tools to check for vulnerabilities and respond to threats as needed. And finally, Cloud Security Analysts are expected to stay up to date on security and technology developments and cyber threats to promote a culture of security throughout the organization. Job titles and duties usually vary between organizations, so be sure to read the full job description to determine whether a position is a good fit. You can use a few different strategies to help you find the cloud security job that's right for you. Networking, including attending security events and joining communities or forums, is a great way to learn about job opportunities, sometimes even before they've been posted publicly. LinkedIn is a professional networking site that includes job postings. LinkedIn is also a great way to learn about daily life at an organization. Other job boards like Indeed and Glassdoor allow you to search for jobs by keyword, job title, and location. On each of these job sites, you'll be able to submit an application along with your resume and portfolio. If a recruiter or hiring manager thinks you might be a good fit, they'll usually contact you to set up a brief screening call. On this call, a recruiter will share more details about the position and ask you about your skills and interests. Be sure to ask questions about the role and the interview process. You can also ask the recruiter for tips to help you prepare. If your screening call goes well, the recruiter will follow up to schedule an interview. Once you have an interview scheduled, the next step is researching the company and role. It's a good idea to learn more about the company's mission, vision, values, and culture. This information is usually available on the company's website or on social media. It's also important to map your skills to the job description and think about examples of time you've used each skill. An interview may be held over the phone, on a video call, or in person. The interviewer will likely ask about your background and experience and give you a chance to ask questions. An interview is your opportunity to understand more about the role so you can decide if the organization is a good fit for you. Some organizations may contact you for multiple rounds of interviews. If so, your recruiter will let you know what to expect for each round. Once you complete your final interview, you should follow up with a message thanking the interviewers for their time. You can also ask about when to expect a response regarding next steps. After that, it's time to wait for a response. You can use this time to improve your skills, work on your portfolio, or apply for other jobs. If the employer doesn't contact you during the time frame they gave, you can reach out to the hiring manager to check your application status. Now that you know what to expect from the hiring process, you're ready to prepare your resume and portfolio and start practicing your interview skills. If you've completed your Google Cybersecurity Certificate or other cybersecurity projects, you may have already created an online portfolio. As a reminder, a portfolio is a collection of materials that can be shared with potential employers. A portfolio is a great way to share the skills and knowledge you have with potential employers. Having a portfolio also gives you a chance to share your passion for your work and commitment to personal growth. Hiring managers use your portfolio to evaluate your technical skills, like your experience in securing cloud environments and addressing threats, and skills like problem solving and analysis. Your portfolio is also a place to detail your communication and documentation skills, especially your ability to communicate technical concepts to non-technical audiences. You can make your portfolio accessible from your own custom website or use an existing platform. For example, you can use Git repositories or GitHub or GitLab to organize and customize your project portfolio. You can also use a cloud-hosted application like Dropbox or Google Drive to organize and share project documentation. Or you can use a website building platform like Google Sites, which includes resources to guide you through setting up your site and customizing its layout and appearance. Wherever you choose to host your portfolio, make sure it's well organized, visually appealing, and easy to navigate. This highlights your attention to detail and helps hiring managers understand how your projects relate to one another. If you need ideas, you can ask others in your network or search for example portfolios online. Once you've chosen a platform to host your portfolio, decide what you want to include. It's a good idea to start your portfolio with a short biography and cover statement. Describing your professional goals and experience can provide context for your portfolio projects and help you stand out from other applicants. Then, include documentation samples like risk management policies, control maps, implementation plans, incident reports, and audit or assessment documentation. These can be samples that you've created in an educational environment or on your own. For any projects you can't directly share resources for, like projects completed for an employer, include project descriptions that explain your role. You can also include code samples like IAC scripts. A quick note on including code in your portfolio. If the platform you're using allows you to embed code, you're all set. If not, you may want to provide a link to code hosted elsewhere or include screenshots and descriptions of coding projects. Make sure to include a brief explanation of each asset in your portfolio, including the tools you used, the framework or standards you followed, and any areas for improvement. You may be asked to present your portfolio in an interview. This is a great opportunity to share your accomplishments. Be sure to highlight the skills you used or learned in each project. Show excitement about your favorite projects. Hiring managers want to know that you're passionate about the field. Finally, be sure to ask the hiring managers if they have any questions once you're done presenting your work. As you move forward in your career, it's important to update your portfolio with projects you complete through educational experiences or on your own. Projects you work on for an employer may deal with confidential information or fall under copyright, so make sure that you follow all applicable rules and regulations. If needed, you can summarize your role on a project using general terms to document your accomplishments without violating your employer's policies. Now it's time to create or update your portfolio. Take your time to create something you're happy with, since you'll continue adding to it as you take on more advanced projects and gain new skills. This is an exciting process. It allows you to communicate who you are and what you've accomplished. That's something to be proud of. Before you apply for a job, it's important to update your resume with your latest skills and experience and tailor it to the position you're applying for. A good resume can make a great first impression on a hiring manager and give you a better chance at becoming a candidate for a position. You might be familiar with some resume basics already. If not, here's a quick review of suggested resume sections. You'll want to include your name and contact information at the top of your resume. In some countries, your resume should include a photo. It's a good idea to research whether this is the case in the country you're applying in. You'll also want to include a brief professional summary statement of your experience and goals. It's a good idea to include a bulleted list of your skills, your work experience, and any volunteer experience relevant to the position you're applying for. Your resume should also list your education. Finally, you'll want to add a link to your portfolio so employers can review your work. However you choose to format your resume, it's important to customize it to the job you're applying for. Updating your resume to highlight your relevant skills lets a hiring manager know that you've put an effort to understand the role and are a good fit for the open position. You've learned lots of new skills you can apply in a cloud cybersecurity role, including configuring, improving, and monitoring cloud infrastructure, incident response, and communication and documentation of security concepts. It's a good idea to keep a running list of your cybersecurity skills. This makes it easier to customize your resume before applying for a job. You might find job descriptions listing programming languages, softwares, and skills you're less familiar with. If this happens, consider which tools and skills you have on your existing resume that may be transferable to the position you're applying for. Even if you haven't worked in a cloud cybersecurity job before, you most likely have transferable skills from other jobs you've had before, or from your personal life. For example, you could have great attention to detail from working in data entry, strong teamwork skills from a service industry job, or effective time management and prioritization skills from running a small business. These are just a few examples. Reflect on your experiences and try to think of any similar skills you may have. In the education section of your resume, you can include this certificate along with any other professional certifications you've completed. This is also where you can list your degree if you have one. You may choose to list relevant coursework here if applicable. For example, if you majored in an unrelated field but took a computer science class as an elective. Your resume and portfolio should complement each other. The qualifications included on your resume will help you get noticed by potential employers, while the projects in your portfolio will provide deeper evidence of your skills and accomplishments. Now you're ready to create a resume that shows off your skills and make employers want to learn more about you. If your portfolio and resume get a hiring manager's attention, they'll contact you to set up an interview. Interviews can be intimidating, but practicing interview skills and conducting research can help you feel confident. Before an interview, it's important to research the organization and role, practice responding to common interview questions, and update your portfolio and resume. It's also a good idea to do some research about the organization you're interviewing with. Understanding the organization's mission, core values, and culture can help you decide whether you and the organization are a good fit. You can usually find this information on the company's social media or website or in the job description. If the company makes products, you should also research the products, the customers who use them, and read news articles about the company to better understand their business. If you still have questions, you can ask the hiring manager. After you learn more about the company, it's a good idea to examine the job description again. If some skills listed in the description don't exactly match with your own, identify transferable skills you can emphasize in the interview. The cloud security hiring process usually involves a few stages of interviews. First, an introductory or screening interview with the hiring manager or a recruiter. Then, a one-on-one interview with the hiring manager. And finally, a panel interview with a few members of the team you'd be working with to get a sense of how well you'll fit in with the team's culture. Most recruiters or hiring managers will let you know how the interview process is structured ahead of time so you can prepare. In a cloud security interview, the hiring manager will ask a variety of questions to assess your skills, experience, and attitude. For example, the hiring manager may ask you behavioral questions, like what you did or would do in a specific situation, or how you'd handle a challenge at work. They might also ask you technical questions about the specifics of the technical tools you've used. An interviewer may also give you a technical problem and ask you to describe the steps you'd take to solve it. These questions are a chance for you to share your knowledge and your communication skills. You can structure your responses to behavioral questions using the STARL method. First, describe the situation, including any context the interviewer needs to know to understand the story. Then, identify the task or the problem or challenge you took on. Next, describe the action or actions you took to address the task. Then, explain the positive results of your actions. And finally, share what you learned. Before answering technical questions, it's important to make sure you understand what the interviewer is asking. Don't be afraid to ask clarifying questions. This lets the interviewer know that you're committed to answering accurately. When answering a technical question with multiple steps, it's a good idea to share your thought process with the interviewer as you answer. If you don't know the answer to a question, don't worry. Explain that you haven't learned that skill yet, but you're committed to learning what you need to know to be successful in the role. The interviewers will expect you to ask questions as well. Remember, you're interviewing each other. Asking questions is your chance to be curious and gather any information you need to decide if the role is a good fit for you. If interviewers ask you about the work in your portfolio, you can give them more information about your goals, the tools you used, and what you learned while working on each project. You should also connect the work in your portfolio to the skills and knowledge that would help you on the job. After an interview, be sure to send a quick email to each interviewer thanking them for their time and confirming your interest in a role. With a little bit of practice and preparation, you'll be interviewing with confidence.
Within my industry, I'm essentially the firewall at Google. I'm protecting user data, ensuring that the controls are in place and that they're applied within each application and service that we have. My name is Joel, and I'm a security engineer. I got started like a lot of people in technology as a power user, where you may be hired as desk job or intern, and then a new printer comes into place, and then you got to add the printer, and they look to you as a new person on the block to do those things. And eventually, I kind of liked doing that over and over, and I kind of transitioned into IT. Within IT, I moved into cloud, and eventually into security engineering. I think what made me decide to pursue security was that within IT, you kind of touch all types of technology, and security was always something that I enjoyed going down like the rabbit hole with. Like, someone doesn't have access, why don't they have access? Someone accessed something that they weren't supposed to, how did they get access to that? Or the fun things like, why was there a movie torrent downloaded onto our server? Like, who was able to do that? How did they do that? And when did they do that? So those kind of questions were always something that interested me. And that's kind of how I got within this career path. What I love most about working in this field is working with the unknown. I love the fact that I can come in any day and get a new problem, a new situation, a new scenario, and work to solve that. To be ready for a career in this industry, I researched YouTube videos, cloud certificates, different programs online, any course I could find, I attempted. Practicing coding on my own, doing personal problems, because it all benefits, right? Even if you do a personal project where you're doing a script that rearranges your music in your files, that's something that's valuable, even if it's something that's not for work. Some job application tips and resume tips I would provide is your personal projects are valued on your resumes. I built a bot that looked at stock prices and kind of analyzed it. That's something I would add to my resume to bolster it. It shows that you have a personal interest. It shows that you took an effort other than just applying. You're actually working on those skills. Don't be afraid of coding. I think coding is a daunting task for a lot of folks, especially if you did it within school or college. You may have run into languages like Java or Cobalt or Rust, but the grass is greener on the other side. There's a language for everyone. You could always start with Python, SQL, just to get started. And the fundamentals are all the same across the board. So don't be afraid of coding. Really embrace it and try to make it a part of your tool belt.
Great work! You've come to the end of the career preparation section. You started off by learning what you need to successfully search and interview for your first cloud security analyst job. Then, you explored the cloud cybersecurity hiring process, from locating job openings to researching organizations and submitting applications. Next, you updated your resume with your new skills and prepared to tailor it to specific job descriptions as needed. We also cover how to identify skills from non-security jobs that will help you succeed in a cloud security analyst position. Then, you learned how to create a professional portfolio to share your dedication, passion for the field, and commitment to growth with hiring managers. Finally, you learned how to prepare to impress hiring managers and other interviewers during the interview process. We covered categories of interviews, question types and how to answer them, and how to present your portfolio in an interview. You now have job search and interview skills that will be useful throughout your entire career. Congratulations! Now let's move on to the next step of your learning journey. You're just steps away from completing your Capstone project and receiving your certificate. This is a huge accomplishment. Coming up, we'll discuss your Capstone project. You'll learn what to expect, tips to help you complete it, and how to make the most of your Capstone project in your future cloud security career. First, we'll discuss what to expect and give you some tips to help you complete the project successfully. Then, we'll cover how you can use the Capstone project in the job search and interview process. After that, you'll have all the necessary instructions and tools to start, finish, and assess your project. Finally, we'll wrap up your project and discuss some tips for success in your career. When you're ready, meet me in the next video. In this video, we'll discuss the various benefits of completing your Capstone project. Your capstone project is an exciting opportunity for you to apply everything you've learned in the program. To complete the project, you'll create and configure it in the cloud. This will give you the chance to practice the tools and frameworks you've learned throughout the program. Let's discuss the benefits of completing the project. First, by completing your capstone project, you'll demonstrate your experience with cloud security concepts and tools. Because the project is similar to actual workplace tasks, completing it will give you a preview into what a cloud security job might be like. Plus, it will show future employers that you have what it takes to succeed in a cloud security role. Completing the project will also give you the opportunity to practice your problem-solving skills. As a cloud security professional, no 2 days will be the same. You'll likely deal with challenges on short notice, and as a new employee, you'll be presented with problems that you may have never seen before. Your capstone project will allow you to showcase your problem-solving skills, and your deliverables will let your employers know that you can successfully handle a challenge. The capstone project is an opportunity to let future employers know that you can identify and balance stakeholder needs and wants. By completing the project, you'll demonstrate that you can carry out delegated tasks and apply your knowledge to configure cloud resources based on stakeholder goals. And by completing your capstone project, you can add a significant achievement to your portfolio. Since it brings together everything you've learned, the capstone project is a great thing to showcase in your portfolio. And when presenting your portfolio to potential employers, you can use your capstone project to emphasize what you learned during this program. Are you ready to showcase your skills? Complete the capstone project to continue your cloud security journey. Hey there, future security professional. In this video, we'll discuss what to expect from your capstone project. I'll also provide you with more details about the project structure and give you some tips to help you along the way. Let's get started. During the capstone project, you'll have access to all the instructions and materials you need to complete it. And before you get started, you'll be able to review a completed example project. That way, you'll have a clear understanding of the expectations for your completed project. Once you've reviewed the instructions and the example project, you'll start your capstone project. The structure of the capstone project is similar to the labs and interactive activities you've worked on throughout this program. While the labs and activities focused on practicing specific concepts and skills, the capstone project is more comprehensive. To complete the project, you'll need to use all the skills you've developed along with the knowledge you've gained from completing the program. If you get stuck along the way, remember, you can always review the previous course materials, labs, and activities. To successfully complete the capstone project, you'll need to use what you've learned about configuring cloud resources, using tools to assess security posture, and documenting your processes. If you'd like, you can review these concepts before you get started. To get started, you'll create a project in Google Cloud. Remember to make sure your project has all the needed security controls in place before you begin. Completing the capstone project to the best of your ability will give you a high-quality work sample that you can share with potential employers. Good luck! Congratulations, you've completed the capstone project. You've done incredible work to get yourself here. Take a moment to congratulate yourself for your effort. By completing this project, you successfully used all the skills you learned throughout the certificate to complete a complex task similar to what you'll complete as a cloud security professional. The capstone project gave you practical experience configuring the security of cloud workloads. Now you can share this experience with future employers to showcase your skills. To share your capstone project, add it to your portfolio, include it on your resume, and present it during interviews. This course has been an exciting journey through cloud security, and finishing it is just the beginning. There are so many more opportunities to learn and grow ahead. To continue learning about cloud security, consider finding a mentor, joining online or in-person professional groups, and attending conferences to learn more from others. You can also continue building your portfolio by completing online practice projects. Before you do any of that, though, take another moment to congratulate yourself on all of your hard work. Congratulations, you've reached the end of the course. You're almost ready to claim your certificate. Throughout your learning journey, you've built on your cybersecurity knowledge and gained the skills you need for success in a cloud security career. I'm honored to congratulate you on all you've accomplished. But there are others who are waiting to join me.
Congratulations on completing this program. Well done. This is the first step of many more.
Congratulations on completing the program. What an achievement.
Incredible work. Congratulations on completing the program. You did it.
Kudos on your success. Hope you take this moment to celebrate your hard work and perseverance.
Congratulations on completing this program. What an achievement.
Awesome job. I'm proud of all your effort.
Congratulations on finishing your certificate. There's more work to be done.
Congratulations! You did it!
Congratulations, you made it.
Nice going. You've learned so much throughout this program. I'm excited for you to use what you've learned on the job.
Congratulations on earning your certificate. Best of luck in your future endeavors, and I know you're going to do great.
Wow, great job. You finished the whole certificate. Congrats.
For now, you can celebrate. You have a solid foundation in cloud security that you'll build on throughout your career. Congratulations once again, and goodbye for now. You're off on an exciting new adventure, and I'll be cheering for you the whole way. You've just completed a Google Career Certificate. Great work. Let's check out some professional opportunities your new skills can unlock. With this certificate, you can share your accomplishments on any job search platform, like LinkedIn, Indeed, and Glassdoor. You can also add the certificate to your resume. Throughout these courses, you learned how to apply security concepts to cloud environments. You also gained the skills and knowledge you need to get off to a great start in the cloud cybersecurity field. Let's review what you learned in this program. You started by learning the basics of cloud computing. You discovered the security lifecycle and explored a cloud security analyst role in an organization. Next, you learned about security and risk management in cloud environments. You also learned about security and compliance frameworks, explored the compliance lifecycle, and worked with tools for risk management and compliance. Then, you learned to identify and protect against threats. You also learned to implement the principle of least privilege using access control and identity management. Next, you explored threat and vulnerability management. You also learned about the cloud-native concepts of ephemerality, immutability, and handling secrets, and the essentials of data protection and privacy. You also learned how to detect, respond to, and recover from cloud cybersecurity attacks. Finally, you learned about the cloud security hiring process and created a Capstone project to add to your portfolio. You've accomplished so much and developed skills you can take with you throughout your future career. As you continue your cloud security journey, be sure to stay engaged in the cybersecurity community and up to date on the latest trends. As a cloud security professional, you'll always be learning. Some resources you can use to stay engaged in the community include social media, where you can follow organizations and individuals within the industry, virtual or in-person conferences and events where you can learn more about the field and meet other professionals, and professional associations. Congratulations again! I'm confident that you're well prepared for a successful cloud cybersecurity career. I wish you the best of luck.
Then the login can be categorized as legitimate instead of
You can define a router in the cloud. I think I said define.
Google. Be categorized as legitimate instead of a percent.
So instead of buying a hardware router, you can define a router. How? Why?
Ensure that the technology is
handling services on the cloud part of...
Remember, you can
Really? Wait, where?
Rehydration emphasis.
Instead of a I don't know.
Security is very emotional for me.
It just kind of feels weird in my mouth, but that's fine.
I just have no concept of what's wrong.
You'll learn about data privacy.
remember that you can review contact.
I thought that was the best take.